Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation, we're going to see how we go about changing our IP address in Windows 10. There are any number of reasons why you may need to change your IP address. For instance, you have a laptop, and your laptop has a static IP address that you use when you're at work. But when you come home, your IP address changes, and so you need to connect to the internet, so you may have to convert or change your IP address from being a static IP to a DHCP address, or vice versa. There's a number of different ways that we can make changes to our IP address, and there's a number of different ways that we can access the properties for our network adapter to make those changes. In this example, I'll be using the Windows settings to access the TCP/IP properties for my network adapter. To begin this process, I'm going to hold down the Windows key and press the letter I. Underneath the Windows settings, let's go to Network and Internet. And over on the left window pane, let's click on Ethernet. From here, we can click on where it says Change Adapter Options, or we can go down and access the same settings using the Network and Sharing Center. Let's go ahead and click on where it says Change Adapter Options. We can now look for either our local area connection or our Wi-Fi connection, or whatever the adapter is that we want to change the IP address settings for. And we can do a couple of different things here. We can either double click it and go into the TCP/IP version 4 properties, or we can right click on it and go to properties and get the same window. Once we have the properties windows opened up, we can scroll on down to where it says TCP/IP version 4 and just double click it. Here you see that I have a static IP address for my lab environment. Now if I need to change this IP address, this is where I can do it. For instance, there may be a misconfiguration for the IP address for this machine. This is where I can go in and I can make changes so that I can fix it. I can also change from having a static IP address to obtaining an IP address automatically using DHCP. Now if I obtain an IP address automatically, I'll then have to use the ipconfig command to see what that IP address is. So let's say that I'm having an IP conflict and that the IP address for this host 192.168.145.32 needs to be changed. The host IP would be this portion of the IP address. So I can change that to some other number that is not currently in use, such as 30. I can then go down here and I can say OK to apply the changes, say OK again, and now I have changed the IP address for this local area adapter. We can close out this window. Underneath the networking and internet connections, I also have an option for Network and Sharing Center. I can click on this, and here I have the same options. I can change adapter settings. And again, I can go into that local area adapter to make those changes. Another option that I have is by going into the control panel. So on the search bar, next to my start button, I can type in control, and that'll bring up the control panel. Once I'm up inside of here, I can then access Network and Sharing Center as well. And again, I can make those changes to my network adapter this way. And so that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about changing our IP address inside of Windows 10. So if you have any questions or you have any concerns about any of the information that was presented to you in this short video presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact your instructor, and I'll see you in my next video.